Remember how everybody was celebrating when Lori Lightfoot didn't end up winning her re-election campaign and there was going to be a new face in Chicago? It's the same face. It's just, an actual male. But hey, man, at least still, the mayor's office in Chicago still has a proclivity for snatch. Chicago mayor says the solution to teen rioting. Oh yeah, it's another day that ends in Y, and it's another destructive weekend in Chicago. Like, did anybody anticipate anything different? But there's a solution to all of the teen unrest, and because we're on YouTube as well, wonderful platform that we have here. There was, oh my god, so many different destructive videos that are out there. The youths that were jumping all over people's vehicles, running in and out of shops, some looting, rioting, of course. But instead of trying to solve the problem, and Brandon Johnson, the new mayor, that's a nice generic name for his generic leftist stances, because of course he has those. No, instead of disincentivizing all of the rioting and, standing up and supporting the police officers that are actually trying to make a difference in the once great city of Chicago, which is quickly losing its place as the second most populous city in the United States. It won't take long until they get knocked down to number 3, because anybody who has any sense about them are leaving like it's Detroit in the 1970s. Nobody wants to be there, okay? Because what's there that you can't get in any other large city that's out there outside of, I don't know, shot on a random Wednesday night? But because the police they're so underfunded, they have been completely demoralized by Democrat after Democrat after Democrat. This will mark, I think, by the end of his term, probably 80 years of uninterrupted leftist policies coming from the mayor's office. So yeah, there's a reason that sensible people, whoever are left, are fleeing the city, because they're so overwhelmingly outnumbered. There's nothing left for them, okay? And especially when you start to hear shit like this. Chicago mayor, says solution to teen rioting is to create youth or spaces for youth. Fantastic. Well, they seem to have found those spaces. They just happen to be downtown and anywhere that has glass windows or moving vehicles or some white people who are not being accosted, motherfucker. Chicago mayor-elect Brandon Johnson said in a statement he posted on Twitter Sunday evening that it is not constructive to demonize the youth that caused chaos and violence in the city's downtown area over the weekend. He claimed to have been otherwise been starved of opportunity in their own community. That's very interesting. Incredibly interesting, given, the politics that I've just laid out beforehand, and then the state at large. Mostly because Chicago drives just about every single political decision that goes on within the entire state of Illinois. It's been under Democratic control for a very, 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 very long time. So who's depriving them of the opportunities? Oh, themselves. Fantastic. In no way did I condone the destructive activity we saw in the Loop and Lakefront this weekend. It is unacceptable and has no place in our city. Well, that's very nice. Our city must work together to create spaces for youths to gather safely and responsibly, under adult guidance and supervision, to ensure that every part of our city remains welcome to both residents and visitors. Nobody's doing that, okay? Nobody wants to be there at all. That's why the population is dropping, and that's why you continue with everybody that's left. You start to see these violent outbursts become more and more popular. And yeah, okay, there's no opportunities for our youth that's out there. Well, check this as well. Walmart. Fucking Walmart is closing down stores in Chicago because they're tired of being ransacked. That's a sad state of affairs if fucking Walmart is rolling up shop. Bro, Walmart shuts down four stores in crime-ridden, Dem-led Chicago. Daily Mail lists all the big box shops from Macy's to Target, which have closed due to millions in losses from the rampant theft. Chicago is dead and dying. Dude, all you need to do is take a look. Detroit, at one point in time, was the most economically prosperous city in the United States. We're staring at Chicago's future right in the face if they don't course correct. And hey, keep voting Dem. This is what you get, because there's no corollary to the unchecked. How bad could things get if the right goes unchecked? We legitimately don't know. We don't know. We don't have a comparison that's out there, because I don't know. Maybe we're going to have to wait until Trump can set up his 10. We're going to set up these beautiful Trump. Excuse me. We got these 10 new cities that'll be coming in if I'm elected one more time in 2024. They're going to be beautiful cities, golden cities. They're going to have the most wonderful gates that are out there. People are telling me that that's what they want, so I'm going to build them all across our great nation. It's going to be wonderful, fantastic even. And to be completely honest, I hear stuff like that, and it's like, well, I've been looking to move to the United States for a long time, and you're saying that you got a Trump city? You call one Donville, and it's like, well, you just made it for me. Anyways, major retailers in the United States have been forced to shut down shops due to millions and millions of dollars in losses as rampant theft plagues big box stores across the country. Because, yeah, from Seattle to Portland to San Francisco, all you can take, $950. Underneath that, it's just a simple processing fee that you can get, which nobody's going to pay from the cops anyways. It went from being, shoplifting. Crime used to be a thing, guys. You remember that? Oh, cast your mind back 4 years ago, when people who would do bad things and were a detriment to society would be dealt with accordingly. But now that's like racist and shit. Major retailers in the United States have been forced to shut down stores due to millions and millions of dollars in losses. This week, Walmart announced it will shut down 4 of its stores in Chicago, and weeks after America's biggest employer shuttered its only stores in Portland. Yeah, so Portland is without Walmart. That's just so weird. It's like so strange to think about. America's largest employer leaves a major city. Why? Because they can't police their city. Does nobody see a problem here? No, I'm sorry. It's not inclusive enough. I'm sure there were some black people that got fired, man. Come on. It comes as shoplifting reaches alarming levels. Well, is it really if it's not a crime? Oh, this fucking world. And other large retailers, including Target, Macy's, and Best Buy, are now making a good on those threats to shutter outlets if petty crime was not lowered. In 2021, retailers lost a combined $94.5 billion. Yo, what? To shrink. Okay, $94.5 billion. Wow. A term used to describe theft and other types of inventory loss. Yeah, shrink. Yeah, Jesus Christ, that's been a hot second since I've seen that one. Jeez, okay. And organized retail crime incidents soared by 26.5% in the same year, in 2021, according to the 2022 National Retail Security Survey. Along with brazen daylight thefts, self-checkouts have also made it easier for people to walk out without paying for items. Yeah, and not wanting to, be labeled some sort of an ist or an O by saying, can I check your pockets here real quick? Yo, shut up, motherfucker. I came in with all this stuff. I brought it in here, bitch. Progressive district attorneys like cities in Chicago, New York, Portland, and California, just California in general, I'm sorry to the few Republicans that are left there, but shit sucks, I guess, have been blamed for effectively legalizing shoplifting, with either not prosecuting thefts under $950 or letting criminals off with a slap on the wrist. So here are all the big box store closures around all of these wonderful progressive utopias. Yeah, exactly. You will own nothing and you will love it, or you will own something and you won't have to pay for it. I think we need to update the World Economic Forum stance on things. Walmart has decided to close 17 of its stores across 9 states. Yo. CEO Doug McMillon warned in December that theft was the highest it's ever been around the country. The company announced on Tuesday it would be shutting half of its Chicago stores located in crime-ridden cities' south and west side because the city is losing tens of millions of dollars each year. Well, Walmart specifically. Stores on Stewart Avenue, South Cottage Grove Avenue, North Broadway, and West Cermak Road? Sure. Or Cermak. It depends on what you want to do with that C. What that C do? Not been profitable for several years. Yeah, we keep stocking the shelves, but nobody pays for the stuff that comes off the shelves. It's a weird phenomenon. We can't figure out what's causing it. Chicago's closing came just weeks after Walmart closed its last 2 stores in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Maine, for that matter, at Delta Park and Eastport Plaza shopping centers in March due to significant losses. Portland is widely viewed as America's most progressive and permissive city, and now they're deciding it's going to be the most unemployable city, so get fucked. The other Walmart stores throughout the U.S. that have closed or are set to close are in Washington, of course, on Highway 99 in Everett, in Minnesota on Shingle Creek Crossing, and in Wisconsin. That's an interesting one, in Silver Spring Drive. Huh. Yeah, the Wisconsin one sticks out a little bit, but that's interesting. Like Minnesota, that's Target country, so that kind of makes sense. But a store on Portage Road in Indiana, in Hawaii on 4th Street, and San Mateo Boulevard in New Mexico, 99 H Street in DC, and 2 stores in Howell Mill Road and MLK Jr. Drive in Atlanta. Oh my God, is that a Chris Rock joke about MLK Drive? Yeah, yeah, so. It also closed a further 2 stores in Illinois on South Halsted Street and South Route 59. Yeah, because you end up getting... Yo, man, I can't show all that much because YouTube is such a great place. But yeah, I've been seeing way too many of those types of clips, especially some brawls that break out in those big self-checkout areas. Former NFL player getting absolutely starched. Fist fights are always hilarious, especially if one person just ends up getting completely blanked out. I die laughing sometimes. Anyway, not really, okay? But Target revealed it's lost an extraordinary $400 million in profit last November due to organized gangs of shoplifters who have been stealing merchandise from its stores. I'm sorry, $400 million. Yo, and its CFO said that the company expected retail thefts to reach $600 million by the end of the year. So they're like, hey man, we're just going to lay everybody off. If you want to go get a new job at one of our different locations, we'll be more than happy to accommodate you. But we would try to liquidate anything that we have left on the shelves, but they've already stolen it. So if you want to take a rack on your way out, go for it, I guess. Stores in Baltimore Avenue in Maryland. Oh, West Lake Street in Minnesota. Yo, even in Minnesota. Yo, what's wrong with that Lake Street? Yo, it's tough out there. Chestnut Street in Pennsylvania and South Washington Street in Virginia are all affected. I don't. Chestnut Street, is that close to to Philadelphia? All 4 smaller format stores were rolled out about 10 years ago, and a way to reach customers in more urban areas. I would think so, and will close on May 13th. Yeah, that sucks. I liked Target Canada when they were around here for the 18 months that they were. I watched a documentary on the downfall of that, and boy, it was just a bureaucratic nightmare. They had a pretty decent strategy, except for the fact that they didn't buy any of the real estate that the Zellers that they bought out with were on. They were just beholden to the landowners and the landlords, which is kind of stupid because just about every Zellers was the anchor store of a bigger shopping center. So they needed those stores for quick turnaround, and it was a good idea. And some of those Target brand items were incredibly good, but oh well. Now, like many other urban areas, hey, they can hook up with Target Canada and closed stores. Oh, well. Yo, that dude's just stealing a 70-inch TV, and they're like, no, you can't steal that. And it's like, well, I'm going to steal it. And it's like, you can't steal that. I'm going to steal it. Well, no, we're coming back. No, that's mine. What are you doing? I probably got it out. So what do we got? Yeah, Walgreens. Walgreens are closing up, down 2.5%. Yeah, quite happy. But yeah, Walgreens were one of those places where early, especially during the pandemic, there was that guy with the trash bag full of stuff and just knocking everything in it, and that was in San Francisco specifically. But they, I'm pretty sure that they rolled up every shop in San Francisco. Yeah, closed 5 alone in San Francisco in fall of 2021. Closed stores in Chicago in January. Jesus, there's going to be nothing left in Chicago. Wow, because I hear great things about Chicago from an aesthetic perspective, but in the grand scheme of things, man, it's heading down that Detroit route fairly quickly. And 3 last month on Grand Avenue in Texas. Texas, huh? Interesting. South Orange Blossom Trail and South Orange Avenue in Florida. Interesting. What the hell's going down on there? Anyways, so Macy's, yeah, Macy's has been walking a tightrope for a while. Closures are part of Macy's 3-year plan to close 125 locations, increased organized retail crimes, cuts into the profits of the business. Jeff Jeanette, he looks like a creep. Anyways, Yeah, they've closed 4 stores with malls in California, Colorado, Hawaii, and Maryland losing out. Yeah, but yeah, looters steal $10,000 worth of merchandise in New York City Macy's. Well, yeah, of course. What do they got right here? Oh, wow. Holy, yeah, but those are the type of clips that I've been seeing for so long, and it makes total sense. But, oh yeah, Best Buy CEO. That's interesting because I worked for Best Buy for a minute. It was a very enlightening experience. It was something that I was incredibly good at, but different opportunities arise, and now I'm... It's kind of sad because I used to like to go and peruse the different electronic stores because up here in Canada we used to have Future Shop, and then Best Buy Canada came in, and then Best Buy just merged with Future Shop. They were all under the same umbrella anyways, but nowadays, it looks like more of those stores are just closing up because everybody's buying their electronics online. As much as it is interesting to go in and take a look at those places, how many people are consistently buying televisions and home theater setups or just getting physical media? Because that was pretty much their bread and butter, but now that everybody gets everything online or just digital, well... the brick and mortar store is kind of gone. Oh well. So yeah, what's this lady closing down? 20 large format stores this year. The retailer is planning to close an average of 20 stores each year going forward. Yeah, and that's not just from theft, but it's a lot. Why would you steal the displays, you absolute mongs? Okay, if you were going to do something goofy like that, but that just goes to show you, because again, like I worked in those places and most of those displays aren't all that functional. You're just going to end up getting a busted piece, and it's just so... You're dumb. You're absolutely dumb, but those kids don't really look like they're... it's just one of those youths on parade. But Bed Bath & Beyond, we had one. We had one here in Grand Prairie open up within the past 5 years. Yeah, it's closing down right now because, well, they're quite boutique. Quite boutique. Everybody buys their linens online. So couple that with a CEO that decided to go base jumping in the middle of Times Square, and you got yourself some problems. The state hit, the worst will be California, no doubt. See 35 stores closed. Florida will lose 21. New York will lose 23, and Illinois will lose 18. Yeah, that's just the way it is when it comes to these bigger box stores as well. Couple it with the fact that all of these stores show up in large economic areas, large cities, and they're now being overrun by leftist policies, and nobody wants to enforce shoplifting, and then it just expedites the process where these stores were naturally probably just going to end up getting phased out in general. But hey man, if they don't want to enforce the laws and they don't want to stick up for the employers that are out there, you're just going to see more people out on their ass because they don't have a job. You push these stores to close because you started to raise minimum wage. Now you've created more people that are going to be dependent on the government. Oh, it's almost like maybe that was the entire policy to begin with. Interesting to think about, but Chicago sucks, and they are ground zero when it comes to losing out on business. But of course, man. But that's all right. They're super progressive, and everybody likes that, I guess. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.